Random interruption. Back again. Part 2. During the GX era, I kind of took a dormant little break there. And then right around 2009, I think, or 2010, we were in high school at the time, so we would have been like freshman or sophomore, somewhere in there. Me and my friend, well, Kudron, my friend, used to have a bunch of cards, so like kind of probably like more like what I have now for cards. He had a ton of them. And so me and my friend Mayab, like when we would go over there, we'd like look through them and stuff. And we like started building decks and stuff, and started dueling each other again and stuff. And Kudron had, of course, had his decks, which were like super powerful and stuff. So I started buying singles like on eBay and stuff. This is why I think I got an eBay at the time, and I wasn't old enough to use eBay. It was like where you have to be like 16 or 18 or something like that to use it. I just said that I was, of course. Um, so, but I would buy like stuff on there, and I'd buy the cards, and I get like I had oh yeah, I was gonna pull out because I had um during this time I have some of the ones that I had like I bought like infinite cards again because that was a card. Okay, so back in the day, I remember I ran Muka Muka and infinite cards because I pulled this from Labyrinth of Nightmare or whatever, and then I thought that the card meant that you could just like draw infinite cards and then like use that with Muka Muka, so it was really broken. Of course, we weren't playing by the rules back then, but yeah, so um, yeah, but like I just got a bunch of random shit like Karibos and stuff, and I remember he had a bunch of elemental heroes, so I bought like the Destiny heroes and stuff. Even though I know they're not like the same kind of archetype. I mean, they're similar. You can do hero stuff, but yeah. The reason I'm looking through these is because these are a lot of the ones that like Jam Defender and the Jam what's it the Jam Revival Jam. Yeah, we all thought that was like broken back then, that kind of stuff. So, um, yeah, I remember I bought a bunch of those kind of cards. Exchange of the Spirit was another one. I knew it was, we didn't know we weren't going by the ban list back then, but like, so I always thought that was a pretty broken one. So I would use that against him or whatever, and then I tried building Zodia deck or whatever while I was there. Obviously, he didn't like give me the exact. It's basically just while I was there kind of thing. But I started deck building again to try and beat Kudron, and Maya got into it with me a little bit at that point. A little bit later on, really, but when we were there, he would start building decks and stuff again. And then the best part was then Kudron was like, "Hey, I know of this place here called Trademark," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, Trademark." So we go there and we bought like some random structure decks. I don't know, they were shitty structure decks at the time or whatever, but we bought them. And he's like, "Hey, they do tournaments here." And I'm like, "Oh, what? Really? There's tournaments like for Yu-Gi-Oh? They do that here? Like, how did I not know about this?" And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, man." And then so at some point, maybe like a few months later or something, I'm like, "Hey, man, you want to like go to one of these?" And like he's like, "Yeah." And then we got my friend John in on it, and eventually, and who else? I think that might have just been the three of us there. I feel like there's somebody else though, but I can't think of who. Well, at the time, so the first one Mayab and myself went to, and I had built myself an Elemental Hero deck, I think, or it was a Warrior deck. I was either running Warrior. I think I was running Warriors at the time with some Elemental Heroes, and then a little bit after that, I got all of my Elemental Heroes because that was like the first real deck I ran. When I got back into it, was Elemental Heroes. So, so yeah, so I was probably running like a Warrior deck or something, and Mab went with me. I remember it was a lot of fun the first time, but I remember the first matchup was me versus Mayab, and Mayab won. I don't remember. I don't know if we like had built synchro decks or anything at that point. I don't think we had. I don't think we were dealing with any of that. But Mayab beat me the first time or whatever, and so I was just like basically out of it, out of the the running for the tops at that point. But, not that I thought I was going to, but um, So that was fun. And, but it was a tournament where you duel other people still and stuff, but I don't remember any of that. But I remember me and Mab were the first pairing of that part, so that was funny. Um, and he beat me, so yeah, but I did eventually got maybe better than him. I would say now I'm probably better than he is. Maybe. But he hasn't played in a while, so. But yeah, so then right around then we started getting back into things. I remember I started watching the anime again, and I think that's what triggered us starting to build decks again with Kudron and stuff. Was I was watching the anime because I was like really nostalgic for it and stuff. And yeah, I remember that. That was the first time I like watched the anime fully through, especially like season 5 and stuff. Like I don't think I'd seen that as a kid. And then I was rewatching GX, and then eventually I was like, you know what? I mean, now that because all these people are playing these other like synchros and stuff, I should try to understand this. I um so I started looking into that kind of stuff. First, I built my Elemental Hero deck, which um, it was just a basic Elemental Hero deck at the time because I was like I said I was really into GX, so I wanted to be Jaden or something, I guess, and I built an Elemental Hero deck. And it was fun. It was a good deck, but it just kind of fell flat, compared to a lot of, like, the early Synchro decks and stuff at the time. I still have a bunch of remnants of it here. I have all my Blade Edge and Fusion Gate and all the Oversoul spells and all the fusion monsters and stuff, and, like these are probably the original Sparkman and stuff that I got from Kudron, and I got a few of these online like after the fact, to make my deck better and stuff. But what's that? That's the Necro Shaman guy. But yeah, I remember. Oh man, I remember playing these cards specifically. So these were my Elemental Hero decks. So that was the first one I kind of did was the Elemental Heroes. That was a lot of fun. I loved running heroes, and so that was kind of my thing for a while. And then I realized, well, you know what, this isn't super great. So I started trying to build like a warrior deck, and so I did that, and then I added like synchro elements because by that time I think I was watching like the 5Ds anime, so I was trying to be Yusei then, and build in all that stuff, and that was fun. Um, and then like kind of sometime after that, God, there's got to be another deck in there, right? Before this though, I'm trying to think. I must have ran something else. I don't know. Man, I'm trying to think. But eventually, when I started getting like serious about it, like really serious into it, um, well, I built like a burn deck for a little bit there, which was stupid and bad and didn't really do good. We went to a few regionals where I did fairly poorly with that, but it was just the fun of going to the regionals kind of thing. Um, so that was fun, but so it was me and Mayab, and then so Mayab was running more like a Yusei sort of synchro deck or whatever, and then that was always his thing. And then eventually at the very end, I'll get to that in a second, though. Actually, I remember my friend John, he was running machines, so he did a Machina deck, which had a pretty cool structure deck at the time. And I went to my old friend Sean, and I got like just he basically gave me like a ton of like a shoebox full of old cards and stuff, and I eventually this is how I used to sort my cards, by the way. It's like with these little dividers, and these are each like a type of card and stuff, and so these are from the 2010 era of us playing Yu-Gi-Oh! It had all these, and some of these are like elemental heroes somewhere in here with the warriors, and then like arcanas and stuff, like all sorts of crazy shit in here. I'd pull them all out, but I'll do a collection video some other time because it's gonna take forever. But anyway, and then I started like just buying packs and stuff, and I started getting more modern and doing all the synchros and stuff. And then I had this. So one of my goals was to get all of the tins. This was just a random one I got. This wasn't one of them, but more like this tin where it's like the red Dragon Archfiend, all the 5Ds tins. So I started collecting those. I did get them all eventually, all the ones that were around when I was playing the game. Stardust Dragon. I'll show those off sometime. I have all of those still, along with all my boxes that I've pulled cards from, which that'll be a fun little nostalgia thing. But the box is gigantic. I gotta fucking do it in a different video. But anyway, So around that time, John was running his machines and stuff, and we even got my other friend into it. He was running Black Wings for like half a second. Um, he wasn't really interested in the game as much as we were, but yeah, John was having fun. I was having fun. Uh, Mab was. Maybe Kudron came to the things with us sometimes. Gross. I don't want to think about that. But anyway, um, so yeah. But eventually, when I got kind of serious about it, I'm like, okay, well, I need a deck that like surpasses this elemental hero shit because it's just not cutting it anymore. So I built what is now my favorite deck, and if you've seen like any of well, I mean, they'll probably come out after this, but I have the playmat for it and everything. Here, let me pull that out. Light Sworns. And I remember getting this too. This is like such a cool playmat. When I was first getting right into the deck, that was great. The Light Sworns. And I got, where's my deck box? Here's my old deck box that's like falling apart now. For 5Ds. I don't. What do I search to find this online? I want another one of these. But I bought this at the time. That's pretty cool. I always love this thing. I used to hold my Light Sworns in it. It's retired now because it's a little old, and it was falling apart. So I thought, hey, you know what? Well, it's good. But yeah, I had my Light Sworn deck, and back then, you could only run one of like everything, which sucked compared to now, where you could run like everything of everything. And so now, like, I'm still running Light Sworns a little bit. I'm running Shaddoll Light Sworn right now at the moment. Shaddoll Light Sworn invoked, and people were like, "Wait, what?" So yeah, but I did my pure Light Sworn deck back then, and it was a hassle to put everything together. But I remember we pulled a bunch of packs of Light of Destruction and stuff. It was great. I loved that set. That's such a cool set. I saw on eBay they have this $350 for the Twilight Edition, which comes with Light of Destruction packs and like Tactical Evolution in the little boxes. That was during the 5Ds era. I remember when that came out too. It's pretty cool. So yeah, I would love to get that, but it's very expensive. So no, I'm all right. But anyway, so yeah, the Light Sworn stuff, and I'm really disappointed that they never really put that as an archetype in the show. Like that would have been amazing to see that in the show. But I started running that, and I even have some old deck profiles on the original Team EOC channel, Team Envoy of Chaos, which I can't access anymore. So I mean, that's why we're doing this. That's why this channel exists now. Is because the old one. That's what Team EOC stands for, by the way. Envoy of Chaos, because it's the Blackluster Soldier. Wait, he's the Chaos part, right? And then no, the other one's Chaos. I don't know. There's the Envoy of the beginning and the end, or whatever those two are. It's their names together. Team EOC. I don't know, but anyway, so that was fun, and so I started running Light Sworns, and I really loved the deck, and it was great, and but then and the other okay, so then when I was running Light Sworns, I had the idea, hey, let's just like fucking collect every card from every set from the Duelist Genesis all the way to like well, it ended up being all the way to Duelist Revolution. I think at the time, like, Stardust Overdrive was, like, the newest set or something. I don't know. But we were collecting all the packs. So I have a full set of all the 5Ds from the Duelist Genesis to the Duelist Revolution. I finally got the last card, which was not Pot of Duality, which was one of the last cards. It was actually the stupid giant Earthbound Immortal guy, Kapaka Poo, or whatever the fuck his name is. He ended up having to be the last one because it didn't ship before the other one or something. But I got those more recently, so I finally finished that set, so that's fun. I was collecting those back then, especially right when I kind of hit a monetary wall at the time where I was just like, you know what, this isn't really worth doing anymore, so I kind of quit, like at the time, and I was just trying to finish the set, which never ended up happening back then. I was like 10 to 20 cards short. I remember opening up a bunch of boxes, and I was really obsessed for a while, and I was dumping a bunch of money into it, which I didn't even have that great of a job to do for at the time. But so I mean that was cool, but it was cool. But then I was just like, yeah, man, I gotta get out of this. I can't do this anymore, kind of thing. So the last sneak peek I remember going to, and I have it on this, uh, the Star Strike Blast sneak peek there, and I got this Legendary collection too. Is great. I'll share this. I showed this off in a video on the old channel as well. If you want to go check that out, what I opened up in here. But now I use it as my trade binder. But so yeah, basically, I used to pull a bunch of packs and buy a bunch of boxes and stuff, and it was just way out of hand. I mean, still doing that now. It's way out of hand now that I got back into it again. But after I kind of built my light sword deck and had my fun with that, it was kind of the end of an era. So I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I think I'm good on Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't think I'll probably get back into it. And then in 2014, they made a Lightsworn structure deck, and so I mean I had to get that. Lightsworn was like my favorite archetype, so I had to get the Lightsworn structure deck. They added some new Lightsworns. It was really cool. I was thinking about getting back into it at the time, and I really should have, because it would have been fucking awesome to play at that time. That would have been right around the time when Lightsworns were huge again. It would have been so good to play at that time, but I was too busy with work and stuff, so fuck that shit. Yeah, that sucks. I mean, I really would have loved to have played at the time again, but I just didn't have the time to. Soul Charge was at 3 and shit, and I had 3 of them in my deck when I came back to the game now. So I made a brief resurgence of picking up packs again and stuff in 2014, just because, I don't know, the Lightsworn structure deck or whatever. I actually went to Trade Mart again, and I don't think the guy recognized me. 'Cause every time I consecutively get back into this game, the guy never recognizes me, even though I, like, spent a whole ton of money and stuff at this guy's store. But, yeah. But, and yeah, and now I'm like, now again, I was like, kind of watching the anime again. Always comes back to the anime, right? And so I'm like, I need to get back into this again. I just, I feel this urge to do it again, but I'm like, oh, well, I don't even know if Trademark's still doing the Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, so I called in. I'm like, you guys still doing it? And they're like, nope. And I'm like, okay, well, that just tells me I'm not getting back into this game. And then, a few months later, they're like, hey, we're doing the tournaments again. I was like following their Facebook or whatever. I'm like, all right, cool, I'm in. And so I met a guy there, Shane, who told me, hey, there's this other place that does tournaments, and everyone goes there, and it's like earlier in the day, which just happened to work out better for me now. And so I'm like, oh, fucking perfect. So yeah, it's this comic store now that I go to for my locals every Saturday, which is pretty cool. It's a really good place. But yeah, as you can see, even got a few of these Megatons here. I'm getting way back into it, and maybe I'll have some more stories at some point when I think of them or whatever. But that was kind of my whole history with Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'll talk more about. Oh yeah, and I forgot, we went to. No, this isn't it, but this reminded me. We went to see the movie in theaters. The 45-minute time, Bonds Beyond Time or whatever. We were waiting for it for like years when it was like announced or whatever, and then it finally fucking came out, and like me and my friends went and spent the money to go and do it and stuff, and that was pretty funny. But yeah, I remember even around that time I held my own tournament with a bunch of friends at this place here in town that wasn't a Yu-Gi-Oh card shop, but anyway, I'll have more memories like that, I'm sure, in the future when I think of them. But this is just like a giant overview of like my history with Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff. So I'll talk more about it in the future, and yeah, I'll get back to you on that, and I'll get some deck profiles and box openings when I get those fucking 2 boxes for Relentless Revenge or whatever coming. I'm trying to pull Cyber Dragon, Cyber Emergency, because it's like $30 at the moment. So yeah, thanks for watching, and if you subscribe and like and do all that shit, and then I mean, if you like me, if you like the sound of my voice, I got a gaming channel. It's called JZNES. Go check that out, or go check out the old bad videos from Team Envoy of Chaos. And now this is Team EOC now, which is like the successor to that, basically, just because I can't get on that channel anymore because I don't know all the information to do it. So, yeah, Jay-Z from Team EOC signing out, saying I don't have a catchphrase yet. I'll think of one later. So, I'll see you guys later, and thanks for watching, and goodbye.